Ooh, that's not gonna fit.
Frick, I'm gonna have to drill?
Come on. So this video has been a long time coming, but because of reasons, financial, I was hesitant. But what's life without a little gamble? So I present to you the fastest Windows XP gaming PC. But the story doesn't start here. So the first step was to research, which we want the latest official supported parts for Windows XP. No hacks and no workarounds. And the consensus on the internet seems to be that Intel's Ivy Bridge was the latest one to be supported. Specifically the Intel Core i7-3770K. So with that comes DDR3 RAM and a PCIe 3.0 slot. So what graphics card can we use? Well, a quick search on Nvidia's driver website will show you that the GTX Titan Black was the last one to support Windows XP. So after buying the parts, which was starting to get ridiculously expensive and complicated. But then I saw this trend of buying old office PCs and turning them into gaming rigs. So we settled on this Dell Optiplex 9010. It has Windows XP drivers, an Intel Core i7-3770, not K, but I wasn't planning on overclocking anyways, 8 gigs of RAM, a terabyte of storage, and basically a fully functional computer we don't have to assemble. Which was gonna come back and bite me in the ass, but for now it seemed like a wise decision. Okay, so the first problem was that the Optiplex has integrated graphics that come with a 3770, hence the measly 240 watt power supply. It's basically not gonna do anything more than PCIe power. So we also need to buy a 640 watt power supply for the GTX Titan Black and hope that Dell uses standard motherboard plugs. So we bought a Cooler Master 640 watt power supply, the Dell Optiplex 9010, and the GTX Titan Black. The parts arrived, and first I had to test the computer as is, and yeah, it works. So I decided to install XP on it, cause duh, burned a Windows XP CD, got to installing it, and it wouldn't. So I burned another CD and it still wouldn't. Now this little error here usually means inaccessible boot device, but I'm using a CD, which it can clearly read. So I went through the BIOS settings and changed the SATA mode to ATA because HCI and up are too new and don't support Windows XP. And wow, that worked. I felt so smart. And within an hour, we're at the desktop. So now that we've confirmed everything is working, it was upgrade time. So I removed the Dell power supply, slid in this Cooler Master 650 watt, plugged it all in, and it still works. So I was like, okay, we're all good. Let me just slide in this GPU and we'll be all good, but so since this PC was made for a bunch of office dorks, they never considered that the GPU might be so fat that it'll be blocked by the freaking hard drive cage. So we have to remove the hard drive cage, which doesn't have any screws. So I bought a drill, drilled holes in the computer, and after a little bit of wrestling, we've got the cage out. So now the graphics card, just barely nicking the RAM slots and covering the SATA ports, slides in. And thank God it works. Next step was to install drivers, specifically the network drivers. So I went to the Dell website, downloaded a bunch, and after a few hiccups, they installed. So as you can guess, Internet Explorer doesn't really work. And neither does Windows Update. But we need to have our installation fully updated for some drivers to work. So for the browser, we're going to use the MyPal browser, which is a fully functional web browser built for Windows XP, and Legacy Update to get all the latest updates for Windows XP, which is even more broken than last year. And yeah, it started installing updates, but it couldn't install XP Service Pack 2, which is the latest for Windows XP 64 bits, and we need it for the graphics driver. So I burned a CD, manually installed it, after which the graphics card driver is installed. Yay! Also, just a heads up, Legacy Update gets stuck on this page for literal hours. You just have to have faith in God, and after about 3 hours, you'll be rewarded. So to install games, I thought it might be a good idea to install Steam on Windows XP, but unlike Windows 7, Steam stopped working on Windows XP 5 years ago. But it seems that some people have still managed to get it up and running, but for that, we need Windows 7. So first I had to partition a drive to make some space. So after a few failed burned DVDs, we got Windows 7 on this computer, with Arrow, drivers, and Legacy Update to make sure all the network certificates are up to date because we want to use Steam, which still works even though it says 0 days. And apparently you have to download your games in Windows 7 because downloading doesn't work in Windows XP. So I downloaded them in a separate partition, installed the older version of Steam, which did open, and it did let me log in, but it just died after that. And no, we can't launch any games. It is what it is. Okay, so what games do we want to pick? Well, actually, there's a reason why nobody has done this before. Even though this is the most powerful, officially supported hardware, it is way too overkill for XP. Even XP 64-bit, which surprisingly doesn't have much more support over XP 32-bit. See, XP doesn't support anything above DirectX 9, which came out in 2002. So most 8th-gen games won't run on XP. So games like GTA 5, Witcher 3, Arkham Knight are off the table. And any games we do try will have to run through DirectX 9. And also, since Steam and most of the launchers will not work on XP, we need to try DRM-free versions of games, like from GOG. So I went through a bunch of games, and after a long process, we've gotten a couple of games on the fastest Windows XP gaming PC. Don't look at the Apple logo, it's just part of the shush. I should have really gotten a better capture card, you know? That was a bad decision. Frick! I can hear the hard drive go like grrr, like it's actually audible. Never gets old. Also, do I forgot to plug in the Ethernet? Damn it! What the frick? Okay, that's working. Which, by the way, the MyPal browser makes pretty much everything on the internet usable. But yeah, everything basically is old. Let's try playing a YouTube video. This computer's not old. Like, computers really haven't gotten that much better in like the past few years.
Windows has had a long run.
Whoa. Hold on a minute. What is this ad? What the frick? Why is that ad on my video? Is that what YouTube thinks of me?
What is wrong?
Okay. Whoa. Basically, most of the internet works. Like GTA San Andreas. It was working just a second ago, but it's not working anymore. Just play GTA 4. At least GTA 4 is working. I swear to God, yeah, this is the dumbest little capture card. Like, so stupid. That music is so freaking good, yeah. Jump into the game. That music goes so hard, yeah. I swear to God, it's the best freaking music ever made. Change my mind. Don't. You can't. I'm gonna skip this. Oh yeah, I also have the real life cars one. Oh, frick. The driving in this game sucks, yeah. I'm a fine driver. Such a freaking sleazeball. Like, what's with the posters of women? Let's find a nice car to steal. You know what, though? This game looks really good for its time. I don't have any graphical mods. I want this Audi. Oh, frick. Stop. Oh, frick. I did it in front of the cop. Ah, frick. Okay, that was... Imagine being that incompetent. Whoa, whoops. Ah! What the frick? But like for a game that came out in 2008, it's pretty damn good. Also, it's running all right on this computer. GTA 4 is notoriously not well optimized. Like, oh frick, that guy's gonna fight me. I will need to run him over. I gotta do what I gotta do in it. Also, another thing about GTA 5 is it's so accurate. Like when you go to New York, you're like, oh my God, this is GTA. Whoops. Frick! Ah! It's about to blow. Run, Nico, run. It is on fire. It's supposed to blow up. It did blow up, see? I think we can move on. It ran all right. There was a few hiccups here and there, but that tends to be because GTA 4 is not very well optimized.
Batman, Arkham City.
Actually, that's not how he talks in this game, is it?
Do you bleed? You will.
That was a terrible Batman movie.
Do you bleed?
Doesn't sound anything like Batman, but sounds cool in my head. Also, this music slaps so good. Batman is so sick, yeah. He's getting beat up on purpose, guys, because he doesn't want to dox his identity. You could actually beat up everybody. Is this not 60 FPS though?
Bruce Wayne, you're on high risk.
Yeah. Shut up.
Not good. He knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Man talked about himself in the third person. Also, rip Kevin Conroy. His voice is legendary. Also, sometimes the game tends to crash at this very moment. The Titan X is as powerful, actually a little bit more powerful than the PS4 Pro, but certainly not close to the power of this generation. Hey, well, I could play this game forever, honestly. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2010. Not remastered, but I do love this game, though. You know when I can... One of the last Black Box games. Whatever. Next. I keep it guards red in honor of Paul Walker. So we're at, I think, around 1080p max settings. Call me crazy, yeah. I feel like this game did not need a remaster. Like, it's not a remaster, it's more like a port. Nitrous! This does look like it's running okay at 60 FPS, 1080p. Well, this game is from 2010, and this is a Titan X from 2014, so the game still looks good. Crysis 2. Let's give this, please. Cool logo, but... Yep, this is also running at 1080p. Although this card, I think, can output up to 4K. Dude, the graphics in this game slap. It looks so good. These are in game. Is it running at 60 FPS though? I should have gotten the freaking frame counter. 23rd of August, 2023, which was like a few months ago now. These are the in-game graphics. That looks super good. Wonder how this looks on consoles. Like, there's no way this runs on consoles. Although it's not running the smoothest, but it looks super good. So, whee, that was fun. Those are some cool looking graphics. Cool looking game, but I'm not really an FPS guy. I just appreciate full graphics. Most Wanted 2005, which I love. It also might be that because we're running on DirectX 9, that's what was probably causing the hitches. I mean, I'm pretty sure if we ran these games on Windows 7 or 10, it'll be smooth as hell. Except this game. This game is super old. This is max settings. Although the game is not natively widescreen, I have a widescreen patch. Yeah, this game seems to run really smoothly. What's crazy is that this MacBook Pro is twice as powerful as that Titan X Black. And that was gaming on Windows XP. This wasn't exactly what I expected. I mean, I severely underestimated how much the OS would hold us back. We couldn't really run any games that pushed this card to the limit because of the DX9 limitation. And any games we did run weren't exactly smooth either. It's pretty clear that by the time hardware got this powerful, XP support was more of an afterthought. But nevertheless, it's a cool idea that this configuration is the peak of what Windows XP is capable of, even though the hardware can do much more.